the other place we're seeing a lot of this is in the context of Twitter. And we are actually starting to do lots and lots of Twitter research. And here's a great example of how this can play out. So the Gordie Howe story got a lot of attention on Twitter. And it was, again, we're studying this right now. We're doing this analysis of how people talked about the Gordie Howe intervention. And again, no surprise, very preliminary results, but almost all the tweets about Gordie Howe were that it's effective, and why isn't this available in Canada or the United States? And why did the poor guy have to go to Mexico to get this effective treatment? So does anyone here know who Keith Olbermann is? He's a sportscaster, very well known. Does anyone know him? Not well known enough that you guys know him. Take my word for it. He's a very well-known sportscaster. He has his own show, won an Emmy on ESPN. And on that show, he interviewed the CEO, the owner of the clinic where Gordie Howe went to. And it was like a 6-minute advertisement. Okay? So I saw that, and it made me really angry. So I tweeted Gordie Howe. I should put those down here. I actually tweeted, and I just put Keith Olbermann's handle in there, his Twitter handle. I didn't really expect him to respond, but oh boy, did he ever. So Keith Olbermann has got, I think he's got 1 million followers. In short, sir, can I swear? You guys are all, shut the fuck up. This is what he's saying to me, okay? Here you can see my tweet was, stop stem cell hype, Keith Olbermann. Happy for Howe, but needs science. And then I actually linked to a message that talked about the science, a science paper. Look at this effing idiot talking to me, right? And then he goes, what's next from you, you soulless bastard? Coming out against vaccines? How do you make that jump? I don't know. You guys, you would not believe the hate that I got, right? You would not believe the hate that I got. And then every time I tweeted, and I actually brought in some scientific colleagues and even some members of the Stem Cell Network to try to have more reasoned discussion about this, he got more and more vicious, right? And it really is an excellent, excellent example. Oh, the other fascinating thing. So then I tried to start tweeting back to him, and what did he do? He blocked me. So now I can't tweet with Keith Olbermann anymore, boo-hoo. But what's fascinating about this, and this really, really important point to bring up for you guys in social media, is it's a great example of the power of social media. Because he mobilized this big community, right, that love him. And now they all believe about stem cell therapies. It also shows how you can create these communities, right? And they're like echo chambers, where everyone talks to themselves. You see it with the anti-vax community. You see it in other realms. And it also really shows a great example of how the tone of the debate can shift and how it can all be about efficacy. Now, the good news is, I don't know if you heard this, he kept up his Twitter madness, and he actually was fired for a week. And there he is last night or the night before on David Letterman explaining how bad he is on Twitter. And that's really what he's talking about, how terrible he is on Twitter. And he's been, I think he was suspended for 2 weeks. He insulted some other people, other medical research. So we have all this going on. We have this problem intensifying. There has been some policy action. The FDA in the United States have warned about it. The ISSCR has done lots. In fact, I'm involved in a committee with the ISSCR right now where we're trying to craft some translation policies. Some doctors have been suspended. Some people recommend, this is actually a report from our team, that we need to, professional regulation needs to get more involved, et cetera, et cetera. So people are trying to deal with this issue. And we've actually put out, and I tweeted it earlier, a patient handbook where we can direct patients that will talk about the state of the science and what they should be asking themselves when they look at these clinics. So people are trying, but the problem isn't going away. And there's some really big challenges coming up. I think there's exciting, legitimate trials that are happening. You guys probably heard about them already today. Some really exciting work. That's going to make this more problematic, right? 5 years ago, I could stand up here and say it's all bogus, right? That's going to get tougher and tougher as stem cells get closer to the clinic and patients want to access them earlier than they would be able to in their home jurisdiction. Do people follow that? So that's going to be, I think this has become even more challenging. I also want to encourage rapid translation, but by encouraging rapid translation or changing the laws, are you facilitating these companies? So that's another real big policy challenge that you guys might want to talk about. And the other thing, and I get lots of hate mail, not just from Keith Olbermann, but from other people, you also don't want to quash hope, right? You don't want to take hope away. And I hear that a lot of times. Like patients will be furious with me with the idea that somehow I'm taking hope away. But at a minimum, I think what we want is to have an informed discussion about the state of the science, an informed discussion about where these treatments are with respect to the clinic, and you want patients to make informed decisions. As we race towards the clinic, I do think we need to take greater care how we talk about the efficacy of stem cells and how we promote the entire field. But as I said before, I'm a believer. Really, really exciting stuff, but let's get the language right. I'll end there and say thank you very much. I hope we have time for a few questions. Okay, excellent. Thank you.